Hi, welcome to For the Culture Canada, the center point of art and entrepreneurship. Now, I today have somebody that I've been wanting to get on my show for quite a while. This particular individual followed me on Instagram. I started to follow him back. I ended up stumbling upon his music through Edge, if you know him.
Hey.
And I found that his music was actually really good. I had no idea we actually had anybody in Kelowna making music the way that he does. He's a SoundCloud rapper, but he has a really strong sense of melody and a really good sense of beats. It's just really nice and easy to listen to, and I just find it to be just awesome. I'm so surprised that we have anybody like this in Kelowna. And today, I'm really happy to announce that I'm talking to Nate Lee. Thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks for coming by. I wanted to ask you, before we get into all the music stuff and everything, where are you from, and how did you get into the place that you're in right now, music-wise?
Ooh, it's a long story, but so I was born and raised in Kelowna. Lived here till I was like 20 or so, and then I went around traveling. I used to film skateboarding. I was a sponsored skateboarder from the time I was like 17.
Really?
Till the time I was 20, and that's kind of how I met Dan and all those dudes. And then I broke my leg, so I started traveling around filming, but I was just like drinking too much and stuff at the time. Couldn't hold any gigs down doing that, and then just started piling out. And then eventually, I've always kind of made music, but me and Dan started making music together. And then, yeah, it just kind of went from there.
Oh.
Probably like 2-3 years ago I started trying, and then started releasing stuff like a year and a half ago.
Oh, shit. That's crazy. So I want to dig actually into a little bit of the skateboarding. But before that, where'd you go to high school?
Oh, I went to high school like everywhere around the valley. I went I was homeschooled till I was like in grade 8 or 9 or something like that.
Right.
And then I went to a few different Christian schools, but they didn't really work out necessarily. And then I ended up going to public school.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
I went on the west side in Glen Rosa Middle School.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, I went to high school at Mount Bushery.
Oh, I see. Okay, dope. Sounds good. And then you started getting into skateboarding. So skateboarding, was that something that you did when you were way younger? And
No, I was always around people who did it, but I'd actually started as a bet. It was kind of a douchey bet, but I bet my friend that I could become sponsored at skateboarding within a year, and I couldn't ollie at the time, so I could kind of ride around. So I just started practicing in my backyard, and then 9 months later, I picked up my first sponsor with Freeride Board Shop.
Yo, how did you? What?
I just did it like every day for like 8 hours a day. I was just consistent with it and put my mind to it.
Were you doing that and then you made that bet, or was it like you made the bet and then
I made the bet and then had to live up to my shit talk basically? But it was funny because I got sponsored by doing big tricks or like small tricks off of big things. I think I pop shoved it like a 3-block, and the owner of Freeride was at like a best trick competition. He like put me on the spot. But like there was a lot of dudes that had been skateboarding for years in the scene that were mad about it because they'd been trying to get up sponsored, but they couldn't. And I just came out of nowhere wearing like pink American apparel shirts, like pop shoving things. So people didn't necessarily like it. Like Dan Sadowick, actually, that's how we met, is he confronted me at a competition. He was like, yo, like he didn't like me, had a problem with me, confronted me, and then nothing ever came of it. And then we'd always go skate together and stuff. And I seen him walking home in the rain one time, gave him a ride, and then we just became like best friends eventually.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how it works, eh?
Yeah, that's so crazy. Okay, so how long were you sponsored for?
Like 2.5 years or something like that.
2.5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I still get a discount over there. I'm not too sure. I never really they never gave me a call and were like, you're not sponsored anymore. I just like broke my leg and started drinking a lot, moved away. And so it was kind of pretty clear what was going on.
Yeah, and then you started getting into film. Do you skateboard at all still?
Yeah, but I just hurt my leg again a couple months ago, so
I see.
I haven't been able to. But yeah, I can still skate. I can still do some tricks here and there and stuff.
Yo, that's sick. I've always admired people that could skateboard because I was always too fat as a kid to do it.
Yeah. When I was younger, I would try to, you might know Cody and Wes Glada.
Yeah.
But they used to skate, and I would try to skate, but I was no good at it, so then I gave it up till I was like 16, and then I got good at it somehow. It was really weird.
That's fucking... What did you win from that bet, by the way?
Nothing.
Oh, it was just literally like up in the air.
Yeah,
like,
guy that I made the bet with, He's like one of the best skateboarders in British Columbia right now, and he got sponsored by Freeride as well after me.
Yeah.
He's amazing, but yeah, pretty much just like bragging rights. But I think I pissed more people off with that whole thing than I did like really like accomplish anything. But yeah,
Right.
that's how it all started.
Okay, that's insane. And then filming. So, did you have a passion for filming first, or like how did you get into that?
There's a guy named Briggs from Penticton. He was an amazing filmer, and I just like I looked up to him, and it was about the same time.
Yeah.
I think the filming came. I wanted to be filmed as soon as I started getting better at skateboarding, and nobody was really filming it all around. So I was like, I'll start filming everybody, and so I started trying to do that, and then like Briggs would put me on like Greyhounds, and he'd bring me out to Penticton or bring me out to Vancouver or whatever, and teach me how to film and stuff. And he's still filming. He's amazing too. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into filming.
Oh shit! And but just as a gearhead, man, like what did you shoot with?
There is a camera called a VX 2100. It's an old film camera, and it's like a 3 CCD camera, if you know what that means. But yeah, that's what we used to shoot with. It's kind of like a standard skateboarding film camera.
Oh, yo, and it had the wide angle lens.
Yeah,
on
it had
there.
like that crazy fisheye lens on it, right?
Yeah.
I went through a few of those fisheye lenses. I'd always get too close to people and then smash them or whatever.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh damn, that's crazy. I've always been looking for a good fisheye for my SLR camera, but those things are expensive, man.
Yeah, especially nowadays. Mm-hmm. It was crazy back then. Those cameras weren't. No one was really using them for anything. They had been discontinued at the time.
Wow.
And like you could get them for super cheap, and now like they're kind of like a fad now. Like people want the old film cameras, like so they'll go for thousands now. And I think I still have one sitting in storage at my mom's place somewhere.
Shit.
I should dig it up and sell it.
Yeah, I mean, like, why not, man? Make the cash grow.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay. So, so how far along did your sort of filmmaking sort of hobby, I guess, go for until you got into music?
How long did it go, or how far did it go?
Like both.
Oh, it went on for about the same amount of time as skateboarding, or maybe about a year after skateboarding. So like 3.5 years probably. But as far as I was starting to film pro skaters and stuff like that, but I started like I said earlier, I had like a bit of a drinking problem.
Oh.
And like just was being an idiot. I was young, a lot younger at the time, and I kept just not showing up for filming sessions. And with pro skateboarders, you can't just not show up for a filming session. Like it's unheard of.
Yeah.
So that didn't last too long before I just kind of burnt all my bridges, blew it. And
Oh,
was
man.
like doing whatever to get money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Sorry to hear that.
It's all good. It was a really good learning experience. I don't regret any of it.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, if in case anybody is wondering, Nate actually showed up perfectly on time before this interview happened, so we good.
I try.
Yeah. Sick. And then what made you want to get into music? So you were saying you started doing it with Dan. And so how did that start?
So growing up, I used to go to church and stuff, and I learned how to play guitar when I was pretty young, and I would kind of sing and stuff. And so I always kind of made music in private, but I just didn't really want to share it with too many people. And when I met Dan, he was making beats for like a few years before I had started rapping or whatever. He'd send me a beat, and I would secretly like be rapping and singing on it and stuff, but I wouldn't even tell him or whatever. And we were out in Calgary one night with like Taylor Latella and like Dan and stuff, and I forget what we were going to do, but we were going to go do something, and they put on a beat, and they were freestyling, and then I went on it, and like everyone stopped, and they like looked at me, and they're like, that was pretty good. And I was like, you guys really think so? And they're like, yeah. And then like I don't even know, it just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
And like my first stuff was really, the rap stuff I was doing was really hard to like. I go back and listen to it now. It was really bad. It was really bad. And like Dan would actually tell me that. He'd be like, dude, I don't think this is it, like type thing. But then I started getting more like doing like more melodic type things, and then I started getting a better, more like positive feedback from people and stuff. So,
right. Yeah. What was your angle when you're trying to go at it first? Like, were you trying to be like a lyrical kind of guy?
I think so. Kind of like at the time when I first started, I think like Kendrick and J. Cole and all these dudes were kind of in, and like Earl Sweatshirt and stuff. So I was kind of trying to you know, duplicate that sound, but at the same time do my own thing. I don't think I really ever thought I was gonna like ever get to the point where I'd even release a song, let alone play shows or travel around for it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
For sure.
I see I see how that is. Okay, and then you started saying, and then you did, then you started putting out music like the more melodic stuff that we can hear now about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was working in environmental maintenance up north, and I was just like super depressed with my job, and so I quit and moved to Edmonton, got an apartment, and just started making music. And Dan was living in Calgary at the time. I had this little group that I joined, and I was just kind of making music there.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah, but it was like a year and a half ago. If you go back on my SoundCloud, I still have like some of the older stuff. You can hear it's pretty rough, like the mixing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yo, that's just markings of you as an artist, though. Like that's just natural, you know. But when it comes to all your beats, I was telling you at the show last Friday when I was there, right?
Yeah.
How when I was listening to your music, it sounded like even though you have different producers, like I can see that in your credits, you still had like a consistent type of sound to it.
Yeah.
You had a very consistent sound to it. So like, yeah, I mean, what about that sound do you like so much?
I don't know. Coming up, I was into kind of like emo, screamo, like hardcore music, whatever, you know. So like I always kind of had like this dark tinge to my musical taste.
Right.
And up until recently, I used to deal with like a lot of like depression and like dark mental problems and stuff. And like I'm kind of over that now, but I like to talk about that in my music because it's such a big part of who I am.
Yeah.
And so I think that when I'm looking for beats, I never look for a beat just like, okay, I want this beat to sound dark or I want this beat to sound like upbeat. I just try to look for something that catches my ears. Like if you go on my SoundCloud, it's like I have everything ranging from like acoustic to like house almost. Like I have like this, it's like a wave song with Dan and it sounds like almost like a house song.
Yeah.
You know, so I try not to marginalize myself when I'm looking for beats. And when I first started hunting for beats, I mostly just take whatever I could get. So whatever Dan would send me, or I like even go on YouTube and just find free beats on YouTube.
Yeah.
But as time went on, I needed to kind of get more of like a custom sound. So I would start reaching out to those producers on their Instagrams. Like if I found a YouTube beat I liked,
Right.
I'd message the producer on Instagram and start trying to work with them to kind of customize it to my voice.
Oh, I see.
Make it more what I want. But yeah, I don't look for anything in particular. I think that I just kind of, there's like a common theme that follows my music because that's just like the kind of sound that I'm into, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot more. It's definitely a lot more mellow, like on an average versus sort of like some people like Denzel Curry who would just make like hype music all the time, you know. So, but I do know though you did collab with Edge to make like this really like sick hype track.
Yeah.
And you actually opened with that at the show on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done a couple shows where I just did like all of my slow, sad material. And like you could just see the crowd like itching to go out for a cigarette. So like I decided I had to do something like a little bit more upbeat.
Right.
You know, keep it versatile and don't bore people. And like that's kind of where that Drive Slow track came from.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
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 Dope.
Edge is amazing, man. He's a super inspirational dude. Him and Tega actually.
Yeah. Tega's awesome. And I just met Edge at the show. Yo, he's so good.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right?
He's really good at his stuff.
His stage presence is like unparalleled.
Yeah.
Like I feel so much more secure up there when he's on there. He's just like hyping the crowd up for me. I just have to do my stuff. It's nice. Saving the day for me.
Yeah, and you saw my Instagram video where he's just like doing the shoot dance like crazy and, and I just started laughing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Nah, and that dude has a good mind because like he's got some like really good shit going on, but he wants to focus on his own personal stuff like school and everything until like 2020 is when he wants to focus on music. And I'm like, man,
it's a long time. Yeah, he's a complex individual that way. Like he's not playing when he says like if he says he's gonna do something, like he probably means that that's what he wants to do, and like he's very set in what he wants to do. But the guy's a mystery to me still. I don't know him that well. I've known him for like almost a year now.
Yeah,
and he definitely helped me out of a musical and artistic slump.
Oh,
like when I met him, I was kind of going through a weird spot. But actually, the first time I met Edge was at the JB Gear show a year ago that got shut down by that big brawl.
Oh,
I literally went up to Edge, met him, and was like, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm about to get jumped. So it was nice meeting you. We should make music sometime. And then 30 seconds later, I went on and we fought. Me and Edge was sitting right there. That's the first time I met him, and then I hit him up on Instagram, and we just kind of like I went to his house and we made music, and we've been just kicking it ever since.
Shit, are you guys do you think that like a collab album or something or a mixtape would be like a potential in the future?
We definitely have enough songs that we could release on like right now, but I don't think that's really what Edge is. Look, I think Edge wants to be distinguished as like a solo artist. I don't think he's really trying to team up with anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think he's down. But yeah, we have a lot of songs together. I definitely have thought about it, and I think he'd probably be down to do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to ask him.
You know what this means though is that I'll have to wait until 2020 to get him on the show.
Yeah,
I don't want to wait that long.
I don't know about all that 2020 business. We'll see.
Yeah, but
I might just start leaking his tracks. I'll just make like a Gyro fan page and just start dropping his stuff behind his back.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm not endorsing that plan, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm not probably going to do that. Yeah, bad move.
Yeah. But anyway, that show though was like crazy. Like the one that we were at on Friday.
Yeah.
Man, I felt like it was probably the best local show I've seen in a long, long time.
Wow.
You know, like, and I've been to a lot of local shows in my time.
Yeah, I know you have.
You know?
That's crazy for you to say that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. So it's like I've seen a lot of like hardcore bands and metal bands and whatever. But that show was just like I had this this crazy endorphin rush, just like while I was in the crowd. It was just so much fun to just like watch everybody dance and freak out. And like Alex was there playing, like he was DJing, and he just like played say "Look at Me" by XXXTentacion, and like everybody like started to like freak out to that too.
Yeah.
It was like everybody was just like feeling the same thing, and it was just so much fucking fun.
Yeah, everybody was on the same page this year for sure. I had a really good time.
Yeah.
I was super stressed out leading up to it because I was supposed to do a set with one person and they bailed, and then another person they bailed, and then Edge was last minute was able to play it with me.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours before Edge found out he was gonna be able to play it.
Really?
So I was gonna go up there by myself with like not a whole lot of like upbeat material.
Yeah.
And then Edge came through last minute. I picked him up from work at like 9:20 and we went on stage at like 10:45 or something.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild for sure.
Yeah. I honestly, just everybody was really good. Like, I wanted to talk to every single person there, but I thought that you and Edge though had the best set. I think that you guys had the most fun set there out of everybody.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put a lot of work into my live set.
Yeah.
I try to perform. Like a lot of people use backing tracks nowadays. They'll just like perform over their song.
Yeah.
When I rehearse without any vocals in the background. I just do my thing. I don't have any backing track on because I feel like you should be able to perform your stuff without a backing track. But you know, it is 2018. No one really does that anymore. But that's how I rehearse. So I focus a lot on my live set. So that means a lot.
I don't remember. Did you play it without your voice in the background on Friday too?
Yeah, I did. Well, not every song. There was a few songs that I had backing tracks on, but there was a few songs I didn't.
Right.
Well. Yeah.
Yo, honestly, I really, really respect that because I've seen a lot of live shows that weren't local, right? Like I've seen Kendrick play like 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every single time he never has a backing track. He always has a live band, and it's him performing the music, and it's so much more exhilarating to watch that versus like some people that would just have like a backing track going on in the background, and they're just like, they might not even like rap all the words. They'll just sort of like hype their own songs up, and that's it.
Yeah, and I see like I have a lot of friends even that do that, and it's like, man, you can do better. You know, like I don't know. It's one thing if you're going over your backing track and you're still doing your thing and you're like putting out like good energy and you like, you know, you're basically putting on a good performance, but there's a lot of dudes locally and otherwise that get up there and they just play their song and they're just like a DJ with a mic.
Pretty much,
and
and
it's discouraging to see because it gives other artists a bad name for sure.
It kind of does. It just sort of, it doesn't make a live show anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like you can literally just crank the same song that you're hearing live, but just like at your house really loud. And it's almost the same shit.
Yeah. Like I don't want someone opening up for me who's going to be just standing there while their song plays in the background because it's not going to hype everybody up for my set. You know? But at the same time, I also use backing tracks. Like I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anybody else or anything like that. That's just how I've rehearsed. So I definitely take pride in my live set.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with my stage presence. I don't know what to do with my body when I'm up there. I'm kind of awkward, but yeah. No, that's something I work hard on, so I appreciate that you noticed that.
Yeah, of course, of course. In terms of like stage presence, like do you ever like find yourself that do you ever find that you like feel it, like you want to like jump around and shit, but you just don't want to? Yeah.
I think that's my main thing is I always feel it, but I just don't know how to like
express
the energy.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little bit of an awkward dude. I can't dance or anything like that. So for me, it's just like I don't know really what to do. I kind of hop around or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really care that much, but like I definitely know that I'm not the most like I'm not going to be doing any crazy moonwalks up there.
I don't think anybody's really expecting you to do crazy moonwalks, Nate.
Yeah,
like,
that's truth.
But yo, listen, once again, I thought it was awesome. Just like the clothes that you wear and the outfits that you wear, it's all about confidence, man. Like as long as you're just confident in what you're doing, it'll be fine. It doesn't matter what you do in terms of moves. Just, as long as you're confident about it, you'll be fine, man.
Yeah.
This isn't really like an advice podcast or anything, so
no, I'm taking notes though.
Yeah, no worries though, no worries. But okay, so the show was super sick. Do you have any like shows coming up anytime soon?
Yeah, we got an event we're trying to put together for October at Black Box, and I also have a show in Dallas, Texas in November, I think late November.
Yo, that's super random.
I went down there a couple months ago to go play a show, but it was when I got down there. It was like a rap competition. I could send you the poster. It was really weird. It was like me. So I applied to play the show, but they didn't get back to me till 3 days before the show. And they're like, "Hey, here's the poster." And it was like it said $700 rap competition. It was a photo of me in the middle rapping. And they texted it to me from like a number in Texas. So I flew down there, as I got a lot of friends down there that I met in Kelowna, and I stayed with them. And I went to a recording studio, and these dudes are like, "Yeah, don't go to that rap competition. Everybody in Dallas knows like that's like it's bullshit. Basically, it's like rigged. They just like even if you won the money, you probably would get robbed in the parking lot for it. Like you're like a white dude from Canada in the wrong
shit.
Yeah. So basically, I went down there and I went to the venue the night before, checked it out. Was not a place that I should have been performing at. So then I was like, ugh, whatever. But the guys at the recording studio put me on to these promoters, and like I went to a listening party while I was down there. I was talking to this rapper and his manager, and they're like, "Yeah, we could get you a set or whatever." And so yeah, that's what they're trying to work on it right now.
Damn, that's like
nothing in the next like 2 months, I don't think, or next month and a half at least.
Right, and Dan Sadok is actually going to be playing with you guys in October, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's one of the organizers. So it's me, Edge, and Dan getting ready to throw this show.
Holy fuck.
We're just trying to figure out, like, finalize the date and get, like, a liquor license. And we're trying to decide if we want to do all ages or not type thing right now. So there's just details we're trying to sort out.
Right.
But it's going to be a good show.
Dude, I'm gonna go to India at like the end of October, so as long as it's before that, I'll definitely make it down.
How long are you going there for?
I haven't decided yet. My parents are telling me that I should go for 20 days because I haven't been to India in a minute. So, but oh well. Right. I don't know. I have to figure it out.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'd like to go do more traveling before I get old.
Where have you gone?
India is definitely. Everybody in my family has been overseas except for me.
Really?
Yeah, I've only really been around the States a bunch.
Really?
But for a long time, I couldn't leave the country because of legal problems. So it was kind of like it's like more recently I've been allowed to go to the States and stuff. So that's cool.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So like on the opportunities that I did have to go travel overseas, I wasn't able to leave the country during that time.
Oh. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, you've had like a crazy past, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say the very least, it's been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, I want to ask you about it, but I wouldn't necessarily want to put it out in public record, so...
Yeah, there's... You can ask some questions if you want to.
I mean, like... Okay, look, from this point onwards, if you want me to edit it out, I'll edit it out.
Yeah.
What kind of legal troubles did you get into? Did you, like, beat the shit out of some people, or,
yeah,
like...
basically, I was living in Edmonton, I didn't have a place to stay, and I met this dude. I was sitting on a rooftop, and this dude had seen me at the skate park, and we were both skaters, and he came up and was like, "Hey, what are you doing, man?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just chilling up here." We made friends. He let me stay at his apartment, basically, for free. So I started staying with him, and then, like, 2 nights later, we went out to the bar, he went out for a smoke, and some guys jumped him outside. He came, and he was like, yeah, some guys jumped me outside, and then I went outside, and I started squabbling with one of them, and I hit him, and he fell down on the ground, and the guy my friend that he had jumped, started kicking him in the head, and he started having a seizure. So everyone dipped off, ran away, and I was holding the guy that I had been fighting because he was hitting his head off the ground and stuff, and then the cops came and said, what happened? Everyone said that I beat him up, and then I got arrested. But those charges got dropped immediately because they subpoenaed the video footage from the Dairy Queen that it happened outside of, and the bar and stuff, and they figured out that my friend actually had done it. But that was during that time I had actually booked tickets to Thailand with my girlfriend at the time, and I had to ditch the flight because I was sitting in a jail cell. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I was totally vindicated in the end. I ended up doing a little bit. I was in jail for a little bit for that one, and then I got released. And yeah, it was a learning experience. It changed my life because I come from a pretty good family. I like to think so. I don't think anyone ever expected that I was gonna spend even a night in jail, let alone like a little stint or whatever. So, yeah, it was interesting. It was character building experience. Is scary in there. I wasn't. I don't want to go back there ever.
Well, what's it like, man? I've never been in it.
It's like high school gym class with a bunch of dudes that don't know what they want out of life. I was in a remand center, and the staff were on strike at the time, so they didn't have correctional officers in. They had commissionaires, so they weren't trained for the situation. And I was in the processing unit that I got put into. It was taking longer than usual to process inmates in because the staff was on strike and the commissionaires didn't know what they're doing. So when it's like that, everything's clogged up. It's more volatile. So I don't know what it would normally be like, but when I went, it was really hellish. It was stressful, and you didn't really know when you're going to see a judge or whatever. Like, they didn't really have anyone coming to update you on your case. So you're just kind of sitting there waiting, wondering like what's going on. But I also didn't want my family to find out at the time. So I had been getting my friends on the outside to like call my mom, make up excuses like, oh, Nate lost his phone, blah, 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 blah. And basically hid it from my family for a long time. Like, some of my family still don't even know about it, but
holy fuck,
they're going to probably listen to this and know about it. But yeah, like that. And then I had a really stupid one. I got caught shoplifting when I was filming skateboarding. I was filming a pro skateboarder, and I ran out of tape for my camera, and so I tried to steal a tape from a London Drugs, and I had been on like I got released until that court was going on or whatever. I had to like behave until they figured out what was going on, like till my charges got dropped or whatever. But long story short, like I got caught shoplifting. I had to do some community service hours, and then I never did anything wrong after that. And that was like when all this happened when I was 19.
Oh shit!
And I'm 26 now.
Shit. So like when you were why 19? Like, were you in like a bad place?
Yeah, a little bit. My dad got a bad case of melanoma, which is like skin cancer. And around that time, a little bit earlier. And I don't think it was just that, but there was just like a combo of things going on in my life, like a bad breakup, my dad getting like skin cancer and all these things. Plus just like I had anger problems that I never tended to. And everything piled up, and it just kind of led to what my life became.
Right.
Which was a living hell for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Damn, dude.
And then I went sober and went up north and worked in maintenance and stuff until I got my life right.
Oh shit! And so you're doing better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've still have, like, we had that incident at the show last year.
Yeah,
where there was some violence broke out and stuff, but I don't start anything with people. Sometimes I feel obligated to, if something like a fight's breaking out and I'm the only one around that's able to do something about it or defend somebody, I feel more obligated than the average person too, because I've been in more fights than the average person.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm a small guy, and I can't be getting beat up for the rest of my life. I broke my nose at the JB show last year.
Really?
Yeah, so you can see it's kind of crooked.
To be honest, it looked fine to me. And
yeah, you kind of see it a little bit. But yeah, it broke it, and I tried to reset it myself and stuff. But
oh shit,
you get old, and then you don't want to be doing that stuff anymore. But you got to defend yourself. That particular situation wasn't my fault, but I learned that I didn't handle it in a mature manner, and then it led to something that was able to like tarnish my reputation when it really wasn't my fault, right?
Right.
And that's just life. So I've been learning how to like handle life better, basically.
Yeah. Dude, it's tough, man. Like, I mean, as a what growing young person hasn't made mistakes,
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
So I mean, like I've made mistakes. Everybody's made mistakes growing up, especially
Yeah.
in their teen years when your like hormones are fucked,
Yeah.
and you just can't make sense of yourself or anything else.
Totally.
Like it's a hard time to have good judgment, you know?
Yeah, I also didn't have a very normal upbringing. Like my dad was a minister, and we also had like they were foster parents, and we had over like 100 drug addicted teens come live with us and stuff. So
Wow.
I was young, and so that's actually how I got into like hip hop. There was a girl named Christy. She's dead now, but she lived with us for a long time. And she showed me Tupac when I was like 11. And like I wasn't allowed to listen to Tupac by any means, but that was like the first. I listened to Changes by Tupac, and I was like, oh my, this is really good. And like pretty much started there. And then I don't know if you remember LimeWire.
Yeah, I remember LimeWire.
Yeah, I used to play with fire on that thing and download like whatever rap I could find. Hope I didn't get a virus on the computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't have a normal upbringing really. So I think like everything, just like the circumstances of my upbringing and then my anger problems and everything and my extreme personality. I'm such an extreme person. Like if I do something, I take it to the extreme. So when I started drinking, it was just like, phew,
Yeah.
see you later. Like it was bound. Honestly, I'm really lucky that I didn't die. There was a lot of incidents that happened during that time, like where I should definitely be dead.
Really?
Yeah, like I've had so many things I can't really speak on, but like situations where people try to take my life or just things like that. And it's like looking back on it, I'm just thankful. Every morning I'm thankful to be alive. Not just because of that, but just because life's beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
Like I was depressed for years. Even after that, I was depressed till like up until recently, and like it started like kind of dissipating. But I find that music helps everything, you know? Like music, it was a big thing for me. Once I started really making music and expressing myself more, I stopped really getting in fights. I stopped like getting put in the drunk tank or doing this or that, things I shouldn't do because I had this outlet that I didn't have before, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. It seems like you are on a better path of doing it. And, you know, I saw on your Instagram that you actually started getting into sobriety, right?
Yeah. I haven't really been drinking or doing anything. I smoke a little bit of weed here and there, but even that I don't really like to do it that much because I'm an anxious person, and I smoked for like 10 years plus, and then like just started triggering my anxiety more than it helped it. So basically I'm at a point now where I just feel better and fresh, more clear-minded when I'm sober.
Yeah.
But I think I could still go have a drink and like whatever, shut it off after a drink or two, but I just don't even want to. It's like, I just don't enjoy it. I get way more out of life. Just like, oh, this is what sobriety feels like. Like I was drunk and high for so long, like so many years, that I get more out of being sober than I do out of getting messed up with my friends.
Yo, that's wild. It reminds me of the Weeknd song The Hills, you know, where the chorus he says, when I'm fucked up, it's the real me, you know, like that kind of shit.
That's the truth, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to, like, even now, if I get too wasted, I just, like, tell mad drunken lies and, like, make a fool of myself. Like, I've wrecked endless relationships because of alcohol. And then I'll never get them back, and I know I'll never get them back. But, like all I can do now is just be true to myself and try to be healthy and happy and stuff, right? So that's what I do.
Yeah, totally. And I hear that in your music, by the way. Like, it sounds very biographical because of the experiences that you seem to be having, right? And I can totally see why music would act like therapy for you.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it totally has been. It's been crazy. And, like, not even just music, but the relationships that music's brought, like Edge and Dan, I would say those two in particular, like, those two guys both, like, saved my life in different ways, you know?
Yeah.
Like, super genuine dudes. And just people that I probably would be friends with, but, like, just not on the same level. And so, yeah, music has just been such a help for me, like, big time. When I used to be, like, depressed and stuff, I get prescribed different things, and I've tried out, and it would just mess with me more than it would do anything good for me. So I just try to just self-medicate or whatever, you know, just, like, be as healthy as I can. And it works for me. It works for me. I think some people got to take their meds, but for me, I'm good.
Yeah, so you don't take anything right now?
No, not really.
Wow.
I take, like, I'll smoke a little bit of weed a couple times a week, but other than that, that's about it.
Well, one thing that you also have for you is that you have a new little puppy named Ruthie.
Yeah, Ruthie. I got Ruthie the other day. She's amazing.
Oh.
Took her like 3 days to figure out that she shouldn't poo or pee in the house. And now she wakes me up, nibbles on my feet to wake me up to take her out. It's actually crazy. I've never had a dog this smart before. So
really?
I'm stoked on that, yeah.
Hey, where'd you get her?
I got her from a German family over on Sexsmith Road, and they didn't speak very good English, but they both the parents were in police work back in Germany, and now they just breed dogs and sell them over here, I guess, or whatever. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's kind of expensive, but it's super nice.
You'll have a dog though that'll be a really good little person for you.
Yeah, I just moved up to some land. Like I just moved up to 10 acres of land, and there's cougars, bears, or whatever up there. So you need a pretty good dog just to like even alert you to what's around. So that's why I got her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the best.
Yeah. Oh, that's
cool
dope.
Little dog. For
Damn,
sure.
10 acres, man. Whereabouts is that?
Upper Glen Rosa.
Upper Glen Rosa. Dope. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. There's another family that lives on the 10 acres with me, but I never even see them. They're
well,
in
10
another
acres
house.
10 acres is like a lot. So.
Yeah, and we're on opposite sides of the property, so like, yeah, I pretty much hear their dog bark, and that's it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yo, that's crazy. That's so sick. Okay, veering back into the music, whereabouts do you want it to go? Whereabouts do you see it taking you?
I don't really, with everything's so oversaturated right now, like everybody's trying to be a rapper, and everyone's trying to get, like, you know, everyone's got a dream, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm a realist, so like, I just gonna keep making the music and trying to get money on the side, doing different things. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, if you know what I mean. I got a lot of side hustles and like a lot of different things going on the side. So I'm not worried about that. My future's going to be good with or without music, but it would definitely be cool if I could, you know, like eventually make a career out of it.
Yeah.
That's my dream, obviously, right? That's like every musician's dream. So yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Hey, that's good for you, man. That's awesome. I hope it gets you exactly what you want.
It's definitely surpassed any expectations I ever had. I never thought that I would be going to Dallas or like even like Vancouver, these places I've played shows before. Like I just never thought it was possible.
Yeah. Well, it's when you put in good work though, people recognize that and they'll come to you. You know?
Yeah. You know what? That's super true. I've seen that a lot in Tion. He's a major example of that for sure. Like he's just like consistent hard work. Didn't really like care who was watching, but everyone kind of had to notice because of his consistency, right? Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, that guy has got such a good mind to him. You know, he's somebody that will definitely get far with what he's trying to do. You know?
Yeah, I have no doubt. And like that's and with a guy like that, why wouldn't he put all his eggs in one basket? But for me, I'm different, right? Like I live a different life than him, and so I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. There's a lot. I don't think there's too many people out of Kelowna that are ever gonna like really pop as far as rap goes, but if there is one person, it's definitely Tion in my opinion. he's like the hometown hero. He's definitely my hometown hero for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Him and Tega is my favorite singer. Like,
really?
Period. Yeah. I love his voice, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of local talent, but I don't feel like there's not too many dudes who work as hard as like Tion. Those guys.
Yeah. Well, that's the point of this whole thing that I'm doing here with this For the Culture Canada podcast, is that I'm trying to get like those guys out there and more noticed in our local scene, so that way more people are wanting to do what he's doing. You know, I want more people to be dream chasers out here.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'd want to have like a 14 or 15 or 16-year-old kid listen to this and just sort of say like, I want to be like Tion and then work as consistently and as hard as he does.
And that's the debate we're having right now about throwing an all ages show or doing a 19+ event. Is who's our target audience,
right?
You know what I mean? Yeah. There's so many kids in Kelowna that want to go to shows, but they can't go to a club. Yeah. So we're trying to think about what to do with that.
Well, what venues are you considering?
Black Box is one. There's obviously the bowling alley. I threw a show at the bowling alley. It was kind of funny.
I almost had my nose broken over there.
Really?
Yeah, I was at a Slumlord concert.
Oh, that'll do it, eh?
And like there was a circle pit that I was in, and this guy that I know named Dan, obviously not the same Sadowik, but we were in a circle pit. He was just like in front of me, and for some fucking reason, this guy like hit like brings his head back, and I'm right behind him, and the back of his head hits the bridge of my nose, and I have all this blood just like gushing out.
Brutal.
I rush over to the bathroom, and I start just like cleaning it off, and then I head over to the hospital and just like leave the show early, and then I'm sitting in the waiting room, and I just get way too impatient about like having my nose dealt with.
Yeah.
So I just like left.
Yeah, the nose it hurts.
It fucking sucks.
I hate getting punched in the nose or hitting the nose. It's always like a little bit of a deterrent. It's like, all right, what am I doing here? That hurt. Yeah, sure.
You just get all like dazed and shit. Mm-hmm. But can I give you some input on the whole like all ages versus?
Yeah.
I would say do it all ages, man.
Yeah.
Like having more people,
That's what Edge is saying too.
You'd have a bigger turnout for it, and plus you'd have way more people exposed to something that is super popping right now. Mm-hmm. Like high school kids, like when I used to go to the gym at the YMCA, I saw high school kids dressing up like streetwear kids, you know, like
totally.
they would be so in it, and I think having more exposure for them would be huge.
And they're the future too, right? Like,
yeah,
are they gonna be? Those are the guys who are gonna be running the scene in 4 or 5 years or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely. I think that's a good idea. I think the all ages is probably gonna go down. Yeah, it's more complicated to throw an all ages event, believe it or not. Because,
oh really?
Yeah, it just complicates things with like a liquor license and stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
Actually, I have to piss so bad. Is there any way we could cut this out? I could go use the washroom quick.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let me pause this real quick.
I don't know why. I think it's the antibiotics I'm on.
Sorry about that. We just had to take a break for a moment. We're back into it. So the last thing we were talking about was all ages shows are more complicated because of liquor licenses.
Yeah, and like even just insurance issues. There's a bunch of kids coming around.
Right.
No one really knows what's going to happen, right?
Got liabilities.
Yeah, these younger kids nowadays, too, they're a lot more into, like, different variety of drugs.
Oh, true.
So, like,
I never thought of that.
I think just, like, even for me personally, it makes me nervous. I don't want some kid overdosing at the event or something like that and then getting the wrong press.
Right.
You know? But, I don't know. That's, like, that worst-case scenario type thinking, and that's not how you need to think.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, like, there's definitely details you need to hash out and think about. And,
yeah.
But yeah, I think that we'll definitely go the all ages route. If you think so, Edge thinks so.
I mean,
Dan thinks so. Why not? I'm like the only one who is like really like I don't know, but
I mean, your concerns are valid for sure. Like you wouldn't want to have some like 16-year-old girl die from like fentanyl or some shit, but
yeah,
you know you guys aren't putting on clogs, so
yeah.
But who knows? I mean, who knows?
Yeah. That's terrible.
It's hard to say, but I've been to a few all ages shows and like they all seem to be fine.
Yeah, I think it would be good. It would be fine.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I don't think it should be like too crazy. Just like
no.
You want to make sure that I remember like when my brother would put on shows or his friends would put on shows. They would say just be respectful of the venue, don't get too crazy, make sure that like you guys aren't like fucking shit up and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's where security comes in too as well. Like if you have a good security team, then you'll be good.
Yeah. You don't want those people to like totally fuck kids up because those kids would get like super intimidated. Yeah, maybe that'd be a good thing, but I don't know.
No, I wouldn't hire like club security. There's too many bouncers in this city that just want to like be known as a tough guy or like make a point out of somebody, and like we don't need that type of energy at our shows. So I already pretty much know who's gonna be doing the security. Just haven't I haven't told them yet, but they're gonna be down. they'll be stoked. But yeah, no, I'd like to do more like all ages events. But even just like maybe like open mics or something like that for younger artists, because like every open mic in the city is 19 plus. I don't think there's any open mic, but I know there's a lot of underage talent in the city. So it would be cool to see like an all ages, some sort of event series or something for those kids. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? You guys have a lot of potential to do like all sorts of different things. Mm-hmm. So
totally.
Yeah,
we were thinking about doing like an event series, like have like one night where we bring in some DJs and some producers, or then then the next time bring in like a bunch of rappers, and then maybe even we were talking to Postmodern Connection about possibly doing an event with them, and a few different ideas. We don't want to just be marginalized, we want to be able to like book like anything we want to book. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to open up some doors in the city. It's pretty dead in the city right now as far as like any subculture, it's pretty bad.
So, I mean, like, clearly we see from a very similar vantage point. I mean, I personally think that Kelowna has like an underground culture to it, but the forefront has like not really much,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
Like so what I'm saying is that like what you're doing though and what you plan on doing and bringing it all up is like a great thing, you know, like having everybody that's really into rap and like hip hop and music and culture and art and all that stuff, having them all up so that people go to watch them and go see them and have more people want to do that, I think is a sick idea.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which is kind of
it
why
needs to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, people are just gonna start leaving and going to Vancouver or like going somewhere else to get what they need because like people aren't gonna stick around if there's no opportunities for artists here. Or at least, not even opportunities, but like a place to showcase, like an outlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna feel suffocated, so we gotta do something for the artists.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I feel though, but I don't know if everybody else feels that way.
Hey, it's fair though.
Yeah.
It's fair. I don't think that you're the only person that shares that. I think a lot of people share that mindset.
I think a lot of people just like they hear Kelowna, they're like, oh, Kelowna, like there's no hope.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, they've already like shut any idea of anything cool happening in this city down in their mind before it even happens. So then it doesn't happen because they've marginalized themselves, put themselves in that box, and that's it.
Yeah.
The door's shut.
Yeah.
Never even tried to open it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
don't want to do that. I don't ever want to be marginalized. Like even in promotion, like I don't want to just be a promoter who's like known as like the guy who can just throw concerts. Like I'd like to throw all sorts, like an art show. I'd like to throw all sorts of these different ideas I have. I don't want to ever be marginalized.
So that's where you...
Even as a rapper, like I don't really like to be known. I know I rap and stuff, and a lot of like my content I do at shows is rap, but like I'm not just a rapper. I've been a musician for my whole life, and I have a variety of music. Like, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's important for people to be versatile with music too.
Yeah.
You know, not just like focus on one style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it then develops their artistry if they're a lot more versatile, right? It develops them more as a character that you could get into.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot. That's crazy. So that's where you see yourself going then with what you're doing. Just sort of go into more events promotion and things like that.
I mean, the music, I'm still getting booked for shows, so I'm gonna still keep playing shows and releasing music and see what happens with that. But my real dream is to create something, create a scene, or I don't even know what that looks like. You know, I just want to create something that everybody can come together in the city. And I don't know. It'd be my ultimate dream would be to start my own venue. I would like to start my own venue.
Really?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a long time. It would be really, really difficult to do in Kelowna.
Yeah, finding the space for it would be tough.
And just like, it's the whole industrial rental thing is like, it's a politics game here too, big time. Like I've looked into it a little bit, and so there would be a lot of opposition from other clubs and stuff in town because there would be nothing like it in town. But yeah, we've looked at it a little bit. We've definitely explored our options there, and it would be the biggest thing is insurance. Once again, insurance is always going to be like your biggest obstacle with that. If the rental space is like is up there, but I think insurance is even more so an obstacle. Yeah, that's my dream. I know there's some kid out there, like some super talented kid in Kelowna that no one's ever heard of, just sitting in his basement, you know, and like if he had an open mic to go to or an event to go to, like maybe we'd hear about him. Yeah. That's what I think about.
That's what Tega used to do, like before Postmodern Connection was a thing. He would just do open mics all the time.
That's what he said on your podcast, right? He said he's like, yeah, I used to go to open mics by myself. And that struck a chord with me because that's what I used to do. Like when I was younger, I used to go to the Habitat.
Yeah.
And back in like 2005, 2006, and I would just embarrass myself at the Habitat. And there was a friend of mine named Kyle Tubbs. He passed away in February, actually. Really close friend of like, I'm really close to his little brothers mostly, but he would always encourage me to do these open mics, and he was kind of like a role model to me. And back then actually there was a big open mic scene in the city, and there's not so much anymore. It's kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
Like every open mic I've been to in the city in the last couple of years is kind of hurting.
Yeah,
not really been a good time personally. I'm not hating on anybody's event, but I haven't been able to get into any of them.
Right. Yeah. And somebody that I used to work with used to put on open mics all the time, but that apparently got shut down by wherever or whoever he was doing it for. And so I could see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's very cool. I'd love to see you have a venue that's like a little more gear oriented towards your vision, right?
Yeah, it's just a dream for now. you know, I would like to see it materialize one day, but who knows?
I mean, yo, you got 10 acres though, Brad. Like,
Yeah, that's a whole other. It's gonna be all sorts of businesses being ran off that land.
Yeah.
To subdivide it and stuff. And I own some property with my parents.
Yeah.
And my parents own that land.
Yeah.
So we kind of did a little property swap. I'm like living up at their land, and I'm gonna start businesses up there, and then they're renting out my property in Alberta.
oh,
and
okay.
stuff. It's kind of a complicated situation, but yeah. The land is definitely a means for me to make money to accomplish my dreams.
Yo.
Like I said earlier, I don't like a lot of these rappers, even like poppin' rappers, they're not making money like people think they are, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you want to follow your dreams, like my dreams are going to probably take a bit of money.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I need to get a lot of money to make it happen.
It takes money to make money though, like for real. You
Yeah.
know, obviously
Oh,
it's such a
absolutely it
cliche,
does.
but it is for a reason,
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
Like 21 Savage, for example, he's a businessman now. He's not
Yeah.
a rapper anymore.
Yeah, and all these rappers, they need to be going on tour, and
Yeah.
they like I see like rappers that get signed for like, you know that their deal is like $100,000, and they're wearing like a $20,000 chain. It's like, really? So you invested that percentage of your net worth into like jewelry? Like, are you stupid or what?
And it's not gonna like grow in value either. It's
No.
like those pieces
It's gonna
that
diminish.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, people like Tyler the Creator though is smart. You know, Tyler has like carnivals every year which go insane, and like I think people that turn what they do into business is like that's the way to be, man.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to have. I think the only way to like really ever make like exponential business growth is to have like multiple sources of income. You can never,
Yeah.
like I said, you can never put all your eggs in one basket or
Yeah.
like focus on. You're never gonna be like I was working landscaping for a bit, and I learned a lot, but not about landscaping, but about the owner. And I learned by watching him. You know, I didn't always like him. He's kind of an asshole, but I really respected him, and I learned a lot about business from him because. And then my thing with when I'm working a job is I can never be content because I'm always looking at the owner and always thinking like, how can I be that guy? Like I want
Right.
to be that guy.
Yeah.
And so that's where my head is always at. So I can never really work a regular job. I can. I always do really well at jobs. Like I usually become a supervisor or whatever if I work at it. But finding the motivation to work at it is not as easy for me because I want to be doing all these different business things all at once. So
You want to be the main guy in all those places,
yeah.
all those ventures. Yeah.
I want to like if I'm gonna be putting in 8 hours of work in a day, I want to be working towards making myself money and building a business for myself, not for someone else.
Exactly.
You know, that's where my head's at with it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I see what you're saying.
I still do odd jobs here and there. I was just doing the security work, like private security work at a marijuana dispensary out in the reserve in Vernon.
Really?
Yeah, they got word that they might be getting like I don't know if they were gonna be getting robbed or whatever, but basically it was like they needed someone out there, so they called me up, and I was sleeping out there, and it was kind of sketchy, but it was good. Yeah,
Whoa.
good pay. But I still do stuff like that all the time, like private security work or like mixing music or like oh man, I do like whatever I can get my hands on, but I always try to keep like 4 or 5 things on the go. Me and Edge were making websites for a local condo developer for a bit.
Really?
Yeah, so like I've always got stuff going.
Holy shit, man.
That's kind of how I like to do it.
Yeah. Damn, that's wild.
You're studying business, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm doing business. I'm doing business over at OC. Yeah.
You already start?
Yeah. I'm 2 years in now at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it's been good. I want to get into. I'm really looking forward to getting into microeconomics and macroeconomics. I really actually don't like doing math in school. I think the way
Yeah,
that they
right.
teach it is just stupid.
You love
and
it.
It's
You love math. What are you talking about?
because I'm brown, bro.
I didn't say that.
No, just kidding. But no, listen. See, I like learning about finances and I like learning about all that stuff, but the way that they teach it at school just like makes me want to fall asleep. I hate learning about theoretics through pencil and paper and just like the way that they teach in classrooms.
Yeah.
It's just not a like if it was all like based on the computer, and now you might say, oh well, Deepak, you can bring your computer in class, you can do it on there, but it just I was actually in a finance class like last semester, and all the quizzes and shit, like Excel spreadsheets are easy because you can just like reference cells and shit, but on pencil and paper it's like it doesn't click in my brain the same way.
Yeah,
Like
everybody learns different for sure.
yeah.
That's why I never really bothered like studying business at like a school or anything because I already know that like after a certain amount of time I'd feel like I learned enough. And I would be like, okay, I'm wasting my time here, and then I'd take off. Like
Yeah.
I just don't have it in me to go do that. But I could see myself doing some sort of training when I'm a bit older,
Yeah.
more consistent, focused. But right
Yeah.
now my life's all over the place. I would never really hold it down.
Yeah.
I should have though when I was 19, getting in fights and put in jail cells would have been a great time to go to school.
Hey, well, yo, listen, man. If you get into a fucking fight when you're like a business owner for any reason, then like you could hold your own, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen one day. Eh? The world's crazy.
yeah. It is. It is totally. What I also wanted to ask you about was small tattoos and what the D on your leg means.
Oh, I was pretty drunk when I was 19 actually, and there's a guy. He took his own life, but he gave me a D. His name is Dan. Not my friend, not Dan Sadowik, but a different guy. He's a skater friend. He just tattooed a D on my leg while I was passed out, and yeah, he's dead now. So I kept it. I was gonna get it removed because it's dead ugly, but then he died. So I was like, I'll keep it. You know.
Shit.
Yeah.
Throughout this interview, you've talked about 3 people that have passed away. I'm really sorry about that, but like, yo, you seem to know a lot of like people that I guess live in a very sort of fast life. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've always like kind of like been hung out with people that were on like the fringes society, skateboarders or like punk musicians or whoever. I don't like judge anybody, so I'll hang out with anybody, and I've become close with a variety of friends. Like I got friends who are millionaires, friends who live on the streets, you know, like for real, and I can relate to anybody. But like I've lost because when I used to drink and stuff and party, I never really got like into hard drugs and stuff, but I was right on that line where I was about to start going down that road, and a lot of my friends went down that road and I didn't, and most of them are dead. I think I got one friend that isn't dead that went down that road, and he's going to be dead in the next 6 months for sure, unless a miracle hits his life. It's super sad, but it is what it is. With like the drug climate right now, if you're doing opiates in BC, it's just a matter of time before you're gonna get a bad batch and you're dead.
Yeah.
So
I know somebody that's happened to as well. You know, it was just literally a coworker. You know, he and I were just like closing a shift one night, and then the boss pulls us over the next morning. He's like, "Guys, I gotta tell you, he ain't around anymore." And I'm just like, that shit's crazy. It just comes out of nowhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
man.
I've been partying with friends, and we would go drinking, and then they went, "All right, I'm gonna go home." Went home. We all went home, went to sleep, woke up. Well, they didn't actually go home. They went to some trap house to go die. And like, that's one friend in particular that comes to mind. And it's so sad, dude. Cause like, I don't totally understand why people are like, why they're putting fentanyl in everything. I'm sure that they have a reason. Maybe it's like profitable or something. I'm not sure. I don't understand it. Obviously, it's evil to me, but it's taking a lot of lives. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's sad, but at the same time, like, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from all these young people dying. Like, we got to do better, you know, for sure.
Yeah. Man, I have just no idea why that would be just so goddamn rampant in BC. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. But, and I also, apart from that, I wanted to also ask you about Chad.
Chad.
Yeah.
My alter ego, Chad. Oh, who are you talking to? You do your research.
I have to.
Oh man, so Chad is actually the guy who gets locked up and stuff like that. That's my drunken alter ego.
Okay.
The night there was I can't tell that story. Never mind. Yeah, Chad's done some questionable things when he's blackout drunk that he should have went to jail for, and he never got caught.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Like, I don't know. Okay, well, like one time I was with like Dan and these guys, and I was wasted, and we were at McDonald's in Rutland, and a bus came, and like I seen a guy that I didn't really necessarily like that much, and I took his bike from him and threw it into the city bus at the bus driver that was driving the city bus, and then the bus driver came out, and I started fighting with the bus driver, and then I ran off, and like I don't remember any of it. But they started just calling me Chad because they'd be like, "Oh, that's Chad," and you see videos of me when I was like that, and like there's nothing in my eyes. Like that's the scary thing about it when I was like that is like if I ever killed someone or did something bad, like I wouldn't have, something bad would have happened during those years, I would not have even remembered it really. So it's like, but yeah, no, Chad, on a lighter note, Chad is like my drunken alter ego, and it's kind of still an ongoing joke because if I get too drunk or like saucy or I'm just being an asshole, everyone's just like, oh, it's Chad.
Fuck.
Chad libel.
Damn, that's crazy.
Did Dan tell you about Chad?
Yo, I'm gonna have to like leave that for another time.
You can't expose your source.
Nah. Yeah, but yo, that's crazy. I'm by the way, I'm totally I've never drank ever. I'm totally straight edge.
That's awesome.
Just like my brother has. Not to say that like I'm better or anything like that, but
I've talked to Ravi about that before actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's super cool.
Thank you.
Is it like a religious thing or
no? It's just personal choices.
It's awesome. It's an amazing personal choice, for sure.
Thanks, man. Like we've gone through. I'm sure my brother's been okay with it, but like I've gone through a lot of like ridicule from my like classmates and shit.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, like, yo, why don't you drink and like that kind of stuff. But honestly, it doesn't fucking matter to me what they think. Like, why would
secretly
I
they
care?
all respect the fact that you don't. That's the fact. When they're all sitting hungover and shitty and broke, they're thinking like, oh man, Deepak's gotta go. Like that's what it is.
What I personally like is just being able to like get up in the morning and be like, yeah, I'm going to fucking hit the gym. You know, I'm going to like work on a project.
That's where I'm at right now. I feel so good in the morning. Like if I go to sleep early and I just started eating properly I'm losing a lot of weight right now, believe it or not. But yeah, no, I've been losing a lot of weight and like I just feel incredible every morning. I like go outside, take a fresh breath air. I quit smoking cigarettes like a year and a half ago.
Yo, congrats,
and,
man.
Like, yeah, it's just little things like that. I just keep trying to like better myself one piece at a time.
Yeah.
Try to see what happens. And sobriety definitely, like I said earlier, I get way more out of it being sober than I ever did.
Yeah.
Being messed up all the time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, totally.
It's a great life decision.
I think it's a fantastic thing, man. Like for you especially, like based on what I'm hearing from your past, I think it's a really smart thing to do for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I might still have some wine at my wedding or something one day, but like for the most part, there's no place in my life for it anymore. I've acted a fool so many times, told lies, and punched people, or been punched, or woke up in places I didn't want, that I shouldn't have been at. Like so many situations, things I wouldn't have done if I wasn't drinking. So
yeah,
I just think it's better if I just cut it out of my life.
We don't want Chad to come out again, right?
No. Nah. Chad's hiding somewhere back there though. Chad's always gonna be. That's the thing about alcoholism is. Like it always is kind of creep up on you at any time.
Yeah.
You know? Like I would say I probably am an alcoholic, but it's still like harsh to say it like that. Like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic, but like realistically, if it wrecks your life and you keep doing it all the time, then you have definitely tendencies there.
Yeah, I suppose so, man. When you look at videos or pictures of Chad, what do you think? Is it like, would you
cringe?
Do you think to yourself like, oh, I don't recognize myself, like that kind of shit?
It worries me to see myself like that because, like like I said earlier, I've had people try to take my life before, and if I had been in that state of mind during those situations, I wouldn't be here. So it's like that worries me because like there's been times like and just things I've said. I've heard like my mom had to call the cops on me one time because I was throwing all the stuff from my bedroom out my window into the neighbor's yard. And then it took like 4 cops to arrest me inside my own house in front of my mom, and I don't remember that. Like it was terribly.
Do you remember why you were doing that?
No.
Oh,
and like
shit.
That's the crazy like stuff like that. It's just like, and I would have been like 18 at the time, but just like stuff like that. It's just like it's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah. That's wild, man. Well, I'm glad you're doing so much more for yourself now. Like it genuinely seems like you're doing things that are a lot better for your psyche.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I in like talking about this negative part of my life, like we've emphasized it so much that people might think it's like been like a massive part of my life, but it shaped who I am, but it wasn't like a massive frame of time, you know. It wasn't like it happened for like 6 years straight or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely just coming out of it now, which is good.
Yeah.
I tried to like do moderation for a long time, but I tried to like moderate, like I'm just gonna have like couple drinks, and then like I got better. I stopped acting shitty. Like last few years I've still been getting wasted and stuff, but I just didn't act. I wouldn't like act a total fool all the time, but still it would happen. And so finally I was just like I forget what the final straw was, but I was just like, yeah, I'm done with it. It was a recent decision, and I think I'm gonna stand by it for a long time.
Hey man, I respect that. Like Like that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't even have like at the show the other night. I didn't have any temptation to get drunk or anything. Like I was just chugging waters.
Yeah, but yo, at the show though, I had such an insane endorphin rush, and
I
you
did
were
too.
on stage, so I can't
Yeah.
imagine like what you must have been feeling.
Yeah, it was weird when I got in my car. Like after we were walking back to the car, I got in the car and I almost felt weird, like I shouldn't be driving. And I was like, oh, gosh, I don't want to get pulled over. And I remembered like, damn, I'm actually sober. Like I can get pulled over. But like I felt definitely like a rush. It was definitely crazy.
I did too. And I was just in the audience. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy.
It was crazy because with everybody canceling on me, like the people I was supposed to perform with canceling on me last minute, I really didn't push it other than posting it on my Instagram story. I never hit anybody up like, are you gonna show up or anything like that?
Yeah.
And like, but there was people there that showed up. Like there was a couple that came from Penticton that heard my music on SoundCloud.
No way.
And they just came and they wanted to take a photo with me, which I thought was so weird. It was like when you're talking to Tion about photos. Do you remember what he was saying about photos? He's like, I think it's so weird when someone wants a photo.
Yeah,
with me.
yeah.
Like that's happened to me a couple times now. Like some girl took a photo with me when I was out for dinner at Red Robin's, and another time West Edmonton Mall, and then this is the third time that it happened. But it's always weird. It's like, well, I don't know why you want a photo with me, but sure.
Yeah.
The dude that took the photo with me was so much taller than me. We were having a hard time framing it. I was like, here, bend down a little bit, get down here. But yeah, no, yeah, I didn't really push the event that much, and it just seemed like the crowd was really into the music, which is awesome. I really was stoked about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt good.
Hell yeah. It was a fucking phenomenal show. I so want to have that be a regular thing.
Yeah.
I hope that it happens.
Yeah, JB and Jerome killed that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Totally.
Did you stay for the whole night?
I went outside after right when like DZ started playing. That's when I like left. It was like getting too late for me, and I needed to just like
I think that was a lot of people were starting to get tired at that point. But the scheduling kept getting pushed back because of cancellations, like last minute cancellations.
Right.
Like Sean Slow was supposed to play, but he got like strep throat the day before.
Oh shit.
Have you heard of Sean Slow?
No.
You got to check out Sean Slow. He's one of the better. He has a song with Tion actually, and
Does he?
a music video with Tion too. But yeah, he's one of my main like collaborators and like one of my best friends too. I forgot to mention Sean. Sean's helped me a lot actually too. Yeah, you got to check out Sean's music.
Yo,
he's
I will.
definitely somebody that you should
Get on
here for sure.
Yeah, dude, there's so many people that I need to still get on here. Honestly, we have a lot of
This is amazing that what you're doing here. I love this. I love that you're doing all these podcasts with all these people, man.
Appreciate that, man.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I've been listening to them a lot. They're good.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man. No, it's amazing that I have people that are actually interested in what I was doing, because honestly, as soon as I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, yo, listen, I'm going to go into this and I'll fully expect nobody to listen to this or even give a shit for the entire first year of me doing it. And I'm finding that it's actually very much that people like what I'm doing. They listen to it and it's like really an amazing feeling that I get to scratch this like creative itch that I have aside from my music. And people are responding to it.
Yeah. No, definitely. I heard about it. Like before I even knew it was Ravi's brother doing it, I forget who I even heard. I was at the university hanging out and someone was talking about it. And so like,
oh, that blows my fucking mind.
It's getting around for sure. For sure.
Damn, that's blowing my fucking mind. That's so crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Appreciate you having me on here too. It was a good chat.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. We're like an hour and 7 minutes in.
Nice.
Didn't feel like that, did it?
No.
Yeah.
Flew by.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Before we wrap this whole thing up, was there anything that you wanted to say? Any messages you wanted to get across?
No, not really. I think people just, like you said, you had people peer pressuring you in high school to drink and stuff when you didn't want to, but you stayed true to yourself. I think that's something I wish I had done with a lot of things, not just drinking, but just like staying true to myself and not trying to lie to impress people or do the most to impress people. And so if I could pass a message on to anybody who was listening, I would just say, just like as cliche and corny as it sounds, like stay true to yourself and try to better yourself as much as you can. That's kind of what the thing I'm trying to push right now to everybody who like follows my music or my Instagram, my friends and all that. Like I'm just trying to be really positive and better myself, and I think everybody else should too. Yeah, that's it.
That's some real shit. I fuck with that.
Word.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for having me on, man.
No worries. Did you have any questions for me at all?
I do, but I forget what they are.
Oh.
We gotta get. What are you gonna do? Oh yeah, I do. So what? After you interview every artist in town, are you gonna like go to other cities and do this?
Why is that what you see happening eventually?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Cause you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I really want to do that.
Yeah.
I really want to do that. Like, I eventually want to. Cause look, honestly, there's the reason why it's called For the Culture Canada is that it's supposed to be like the thing that everything sort of melts into. I want to put Canada more so on the cultural map.
Yeah,
and
it's not For the Culture Kelowna.
No, that'd be so fucking corny, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no. No, what I eventually want to do is that I do want to make it a lot bigger than what it is right now. I'm literally only 2-3 months into this thing.
Yeah, it's
but
insane.
like a year in, 2 years in, 3 years, like I have no idea where this will be. Like it blows my mind. Like, you know, all these projects that I've done in the past, like I've done music videos, I've made music videos for people. I've shot tons, like thousands and thousands of portraits and landscapes for people. I've made like 2 albums. I have a third on its way. I've done all sorts of shit.
Damn.
But I've always seen that like it's not a like a end all be all type thing for me, right? It's always been just sort of like foundational shit for me, like building my and developing my skills. But this thing though, like it just doesn't seem like it has a limit to it. It just seems like it just keeps on going, and I literally can't see what's like headed in my direction. I just can't see it.
I think if you're consistent, you'd be amazed what's going to be coming your way.
Yeah.
You know? You got a lot of people that have connections too, that really like what you're doing too, like Tion and me and different people. Like you're pretty much bound to take it other places if you keep being consistent. You know,
Man, it's like
when are we gonna get a Deepak interview? Can you interview yourself or what?
well, wait until the 1 year anniversary of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just wait until the 1 year anniversary.
Wait for it. All
yeah.
right. I'll be waiting.
It'll be good. Let's see what happens at that point. I already know what's gonna happen, but you guys though can wait and see.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do eventually want to see this moving on and branching out further, but I currently got to tackle Kelowna first, you know? Just like how a lot of people say, Denzel Curry said this, and this is like pretty common sense for a lot of artists. Make sure that you have your hometown like support and then move forward. So
Yeah.
that's the plan. That's the game plan right now.
For sure. I'm in the same boat actually.
Yeah?
Totally, yeah.
I could see it. Like,
Yeah.
yo, 3 people are already asking you for pictures already. Like, and you've been doing this for a year and a half. I think you got some like good shit going on.
We'll see what happens, I guess.
Like I was saying to you, man, like earlier at the show and just earlier today, I think you have a really strong sense of melody. I think you have a really good sense of what beats you like and stuff.
Appreciate that.
So I think that it's just, I think what you have going on is sick, and I can't wait to see what happens. Because like you and Edge, by the way, are a fucking awesome team, and I want Dan to.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have songs with me, Edge, and then produced by Dan.
Oh,
And
dude.
I was thinking about I'll send you some stuff.
Yeah,
I'll
I'd
email you
love
some
to hear
stuff. At least let you hear it. Let me know what you think of it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here. So thank you everybody for listening to what.
Thank you,
this was.
everybody.
Thank you, Nate Lee, for coming on to the show. It was
Hello.
a great
Goodbye.
episode. Awesome episode. I really appreciate it a lot. So thank you everybody for listening. Please make sure that you follow Nate Lee at Nate Lee on Instagram and SoundCloud. Is your SoundCloud link?
Yeah, soundcloud.com/Nate Lee.
There you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
And it's NATELE. Just so
NAT. Yeah. Sorry.
just yeah, no,
You got that right.
It's all good. And make sure that you follow us on For the Culture Canada on all the Instagram and Facebook accounts that we have, which is just those 2, and all the major streaming platforms at For the Culture Canada podcast. And I really, really appreciate it if you rated the show, because that helps us out get more virality. It allows us to get more into people's ears and shit. And honestly, I'd really appreciate it. But thank you so much. You just listening to it is an amazing amount of support. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.